One brother stood over the body of the other. Around them was nothing. No empire, no legions, no Colosseum, no Rome. Just two brothers, one city, and a murder that would change history forever. This is the story of how the greatest empire in the ancient world supposedly began. 8 centuries before the birth of Christ, central Italy was a land of hills, forests, and small villages. There was no Rome, no dominant power, no empire waiting to conquer the Mediterranean. Just dozens of competing tribes struggling for survival. And among them stood a kingdom called Alba Longa. Its rightful king was a man named Numitor. But kings rarely lose their thrones to old age. They usually lose them to family. Numitor's brother, Amulius, seized power for himself. He overthrew the king, claimed the throne, and then faced a problem. Numitor still had descendants. As long as they lived, someone could challenge his rule. So Amulius made a brutal decision. Numitor's daughter, Rhea Silvia, would never marry. She would never have children. She was forced to become a Vestal virgin, a priestess sworn to lifelong celibacy. The royal bloodline would end with her. Or so Amulius believed. According to Roman legend, the god Mars had other plans. Rhea Silvia soon gave birth to twin boys, Romulus and Remus. To Amulius, the infants represented a future rebellion, a future threat, a future reckoning. He ordered them killed immediately. The twins were taken from their mother and carried toward the Tiber River. The easiest way to eliminate a problem was to let nature do the work. The Barbies were placed inside a basket and abandoned to the water. The river would decide their fate. And rivers are rarely merciful. But the twins did not die. The basket drifted downstream before becoming trapped along the riverbank. And there, according to the legend, something extraordinary happened. A she-wolf discovered the children. Instead of killing them, she protected them. Instead of abandoning them, she fed them. For days, the wolf cared for the infants beneath a fig tree. It is one of the most famous images in all of history. 2 helpless children, 1 wild animal, and the future of Rome hanging by a thread. Eventually, a shepherd named Faustulus found the twins and took them home. He and his wife raised the boys as their own. The children survived, and they grew. As the years passed, Romulus and Remus became known throughout the region. They were strong, fearless, natural leaders. People followed them, respected them, trusted them. Neither brother knew the truth about who they really were. But destiny has a habit of catching up. Eventually, they discovered their royal lineage. They learned about Numitor. They learned about Amulius. And they learned what had been stolen from their family. The twins gathered supporters, raised a rebellion, and marched against the king. The confrontation was swift. Amulius was overthrown. Numitor was restored to his throne. The usurper who had ordered the twins' deaths finally paid the price. For most stories, this would be the ending. The rightful king restored. The villains defeated. The heroes victorious. But Rome's story was only beginning. After restoring their grandfather, Romulus and Remus decided to establish a city of their own. Not in Alba Longa, but near the place where they had been saved as infants. The banks of the Tiber, the land of their miracle, the land of their survival. There was just one problem. The brothers could not agree where the city should be built. Romulus favored the Palatine Hill. Remus preferred another location. The disagreement grew, then hardened, then became personal. Neither brother would yield. Neither brother would surrender the honor of founding the city. The argument eventually turned into something far darker. Accounts differ on exactly what happened. Some say Remus mocked the walls Romulus was building. Some say he leaped over them as an insult. Others tell different versions, but every version ends the same way. Remus died, killed by his own brother. The city would bear only one name: Rome, named after Romulus. The surviving twin became its first king, and the city began to grow. At first, it was little more than a settlement on a hill. Smaller, vulnerable, surrounded by enemies. Nothing about it suggested future greatness. Nothing about it suggested empire. Nothing about it suggested that one day Roman armies would march across continents, or that Roman laws, language, engineering, and culture would shape the world for thousands of years. But every empire begins somewhere, and Rome began here, with two brothers, a river, a wolf, and a murder. Rome finally existed. But a city is not an empire. It still needed rulers. It still needed people. And it still needed to survive. The story of Rome had begun, and its first kings were already waiting.